What's going on? You rocking with no cap space, where we might tell you a joke, but we'll never tell a lie. I'm the one with more hate by the OZ, Shawnee, joined by Boss Lady Greer and the kid Tyler.
Oh, damn it, dude. That's not even a cool name.
Sorry.
Like,
I mean, I was going to go with your nickname, but I thought,
She just said we'll never tell a lie. Did you hear her?
Okay.
The kid Tyler, sorry.
No, there's no truth to me having a cool nickname?
There's also no
lie. All right, y'all. I didn't like how long it took. No, go ahead, Shawnee.
I mean, did you want to go back to Deuce Tatum?
No,
okay.
Definitely not.
That's. I was trying to spare you that. I thought the kid,
we left those days in the past.
The Luka the kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can make it work.
Okay.
Anyway, we're off track. This is what happens when the youth interject. But like, we've got W stuff to talk about. Mm-hmm. Lots of W stuff to talk about. In case you didn't know, I'm up for one of 5 coaching positions. I've decided that I'm going to take it. The most recent one today coming from the Washington Mystics. They got rid of the whole Tybalt family.
Yeah, they all gone.
Like, they said, hey, y'all got some kids in the mix? They go too.
Right.
So dad's out as GM, son's out as coach. I'm kind of shocked about the coach part because I thought, all things considered, like, he had them competing.
They were the comeback.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah.
They were like the best all defeated team I've ever seen. Like, I was like, oh, this 0-8 team is really like, keep an eye out for them.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you. No, I was kind of shocked too, because I mean, like, they had all the injuries throughout the entire season, like that. Just they could not catch a break from. But I also kind of understand, like, you're about to hopefully, get some good draft picks. It's a complete rebuild, a new philosophy and everything. There's some interesting parts to some of the reporting that we heard about the direction and where they might be going, in the sense of, like, they're not opposed to essentially hiring from the NBA is what it sounds like.
Or just, let's say, non-WNBA circles.
Yeah. That's a better way of putting it. Yeah. And so basically they're hiring from the NBA. And that, and the fact that they're like, yeah, like, we like how the Wizards are building. I'm like, oh, like, that's certainly I don't know, like, for anyone that only follows the W and doesn't follow the men, nothing's been built by the Wizards in my lifetime ever, really.
John Wall, one side, what's this shit called? The one playoff one where they stood up on the thing.
Oh yeah. Well, Andy, they had his Dougie, which was like the best. Which, that was cool, but like, outside of that,
Russ took them back to the playoffs. Russell Westbrook era was fine.
Yeah,
but then they traded everybody away and got, respectfully, Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Clarkson, who doesn't want to be there.
So not the blueprint that I would want to be following, but the idea is that you're kind of blowing it up essentially, but we haven't seen them make any moves roster-wise to expect that yet, like talent-wise and everything. But the idea is to build through the draft, which certainly the drafts coming up are going to be very, very capable of doing that. But it's just an interesting way of doing it, because I don't feel like I don't know how often we see in the W teams being like, yeah, we're doing this. Like, we are diving into, like, just rebuilding through the draft, because the draft hasn't been nearly as valuable in past years.
Well, okay, so wait a minute.
Mm-hmm. Things are changing.
Right, for sure.
All right, so my thing is, like, Elena Deladon, she about to walk in like Donald Glover on Community with the pizzas and everything is on fire. Like is this?
Yeah.
My hope is gone. Yeah, my hope is obviously that they let her. It was, I think, what happened this season was they didn't want to let her go for nothing, basically, right? And so they retained her rights, and she just decided, I'm not going to play because I don't want to play for the Mystics anymore. So I'd rather get out. My hope is that can just, everybody can just wash their hands and walk away happy. But the reality is, like, ED in the next season will be 36 years old. So, like, if we're expecting,
we don't know where her health is at.
Yeah, I want to caution like fan bases who are like, "Oh, EDD is the key to all our problems." Hey, slow down, Bucko. Yeah. Slow down,
sister. Unless you have some spare vertebrae, I don't know what to tell you because it could get dicey.
Yeah. But to your point, Tyler, about following, it was Michael Winger, who works for Monumental Sports, that is like in charge now of this rebuild as well as the one for the Wizards. What scared me is that we've been saying for a few years in the W now that GM and coach are like two very separate jobs and should be two very separate jobs. Being the GM for two teams doesn't seem smart.
Yeah.
Doesn't,
especially when you're not good at one. Because I can see if it's like, oh, we won a championship.
This ain't Sam Presti coming in and rebuilding your team.
Hold on, because I'm a little iffy on him too.
Whoa.
He still pissed me off. I'm sorry, you don't let Paul George walk just because he wants to. Now I gotta watch Russ in Denver. Like, this is Sam Presti's fault.
Okay. But yeah, to your point, like it's like you haven't done anything on the other side.
And also, what I found interesting is that Monumental is a family business. It's the Leonces, Ted Leonces. His son Zach works for them. So weird to like,
base.
You know what I mean? Like to send the Tebows out in this way. I mean, I think the report said, did it say mutually parted ways? But
let me see. I can try to find it real quick.
Oh, what did I call them? The Tebows? I'd be like what is that, French? I would be effing that name up.
Tebow, yeah, I think it's French.
Tebow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Mike is up there. I don't know how old he is, but
part ways was the term used. Was part ways.
Yeah, I don't know how old he is, but probably up until the other night, he was had the most playoff wins of any coach or something, or most coach. Something. He's up there. It's like him and Cheryl.
Yeah, he's an all-time coach, like just for longevity and everything.
And I mean, they're a coaching family.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. I know we started this by saying that there are 5 head coaching vacancies, but there's really 7 because Toronto and Portland will also be looking for coaches here soon.
Yeah.
I might go to Toronto. I wouldn't mind. But like Atlanta needs me, but also Dallas needs me, but I'm not going to Dallas.
Dallas was one that shocked me too. The
timing just in general. Can we
and to me, like Dallas has not had consistency, like ever? Question mark. And it seemed like last season they were finding consistency. Like they make the playoffs. You reach kind of new heights with Satu, and Enrique's buying in on the defensive side of the ball with Latricia Trammell, and you have a drip train, which was the coolest thing the Wings have ever brought to the league. And so for me, like I was totally expecting them, honestly. Like I had seen people being like, yeah, they might fire LT. To me, I was chalking it up to injuries. Satu didn't play 75% of the season at most. And like it's you have the problems that we've always had with the Wings and just roster building and like it's just not really meshing super well on certain times. And so I was pretty confident, honestly, that if they know that Satu's coming back, which will be very interesting to see kind of play out in free agency, I thought LT was safe, at least for one more year, to see if you can get back to year one and where you're making the playoffs and everything. Because I fully expect them to build on that. And then obviously injuries kind of derailed it.
But it's probably like they want to clear house. Which maybe this is the time when they like detonate because they know Satu's been looking elsewhere, Indiana. And she's, Enrique, I remember it was this article that came out and she was like, I'm here for at least 3 years. And I was like, that's not a glowing endorsement. Like, okay. So I don't think anybody really wants to be there. They just are, and that's who's paying. And, you see, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And when you see like what you're able to do here with the Wings versus what you'd have to do and what you'd have to sacrifice for a competent team, then it's like, Washington Wizards, let me get buckets.
Yeah. And what also, right, Amber Cox left their front office to go work, right? So, and it's from the press release anyway, it seems like she would be taking more of an active role on the basketball operations side as well as like the business side. And if you've ever heard Shani talk about the Dallas Wings, you know who the number one
and they're hiring a GM now because Greg Bibb stepped out of that role. So like I do think Shani, to your
needs
point,
to step. Never mind.
What'd you know? Say to step.
Step into hell.
I think, but no, I do think to your point, Shani, like kind of similar to Washington, it just kind of seems like a total reset. But the contracts don't line up for a total reset, really. Like in the sense
because it's the Wings. That's what I'm saying. Like but you drafted a whole bunch of rookies that don't really make sense together. So I mean, even if you wanted to blow it up and get rid of Big T and Kalani and Enrique and just start fresh, you got Maddie Segras, Lou Lopez. Like Stephanie Suarez, like that. That I don't know, man. I'm not.
I agree.
The vibes seem fine, but like, what are you doing?
Yeah, like,
and what coach wants to go there? And because, like, what are you even implementing for?
Yeah, I mean, I think on the whole of the
they better not
of the 7 jobs available. I don't know. I think Dallas right now feels like the tallest uphill battle, like the battle with the most like incline, like to get somewhere good to.
It feels like a trap.
They're in the middle. Like Atlanta, you feel like okay, I could if a Kurt Miller could go in there and like if he gets it right, the talent is there. Whereas the other team is like, okay, I'm going to be a rebuild, with whether be the Sparks or Chicago, and Dallas is in the middle. And so you don't know like what you're going to be able to do.
I would take the uncertainty of Portland and Toronto before I went to Dallas.
I would too. And the understanding that you are going to be building. I don't know what the expectation.
Maybe we should just fold it. Like maybe we should just get rid of Dallas altogether. I don't know. It's been a fun run.
Well, they're going to be moving downtown, so they're not going to do that, right? They're going to be moving downtown into the Dallas Memorial.
Yeah, it'll be like in Dallas as opposed to Arlington. Like
so listen, I think this is what's happening is just truly like a referendum on like all poorly run organizations, really, in the W. Some people have a longer. Like you can tolerate some situations a bit longer, like in LA Sparks, because Magic came on record and said, like, we're going to get a lot more involved than we have been. It's unacceptable, basically the standards that our players have been grown accustomed to. And we've lost a lot, right? Because we have substandard, conditions. And then obviously, you'd be fools to not invest in Cameron Brink and Ricky Jackson after what they both showed in their rookie years. And then obviously, they
who's on deck, hopefully.
Excellent chance, at getting the number one pick this year. So, but it is interesting to be doing all of this when the expansion draft is coming up. And it just feels like of the 4 teams that missed the playoffs that have fired their coach, I just have like so many questions about the direction of each one of these teams.
Okay, well, the media needs to be tried for their crimes because that's what happens when you keep giving Greg Bibb an A for his drafts, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
And then again, you look at the talent that is left. I'm sorry, like I'm never gonna get over watching Ty Harris flourish. Veronica Burton flourish, and it wasn't just we need a change of scenery. It's like consistent minutes and a clue.
Right.
Look at what happens here. I'm sick of the Dallas Wings. I'm sick of Greg Bibb. I'm sick of people not like arresting Greg Bibb. Like I don't understand why he's just a free man right now. So it's not going to get better because Greg Bibb's still there. And that's the bottom line.
Yeah, no, I'm like I said, it's interesting that it like you because I agree like how you said earlier that it seems like they're just trying to revamp and just go a completely different direction. But I don't know
what they're just running. They're just running.
Like Greg Bibb like says he's stepping back. I will be very interested in seeing how far of a step that is. As stuff
not far enough.
That is where I'm interested in seeing.
So basically, get rid of Greg Bibb and flourish.
Okay.
So moving on, Unrivaled had the
big news.
Had the ticker ticking. They were just doing their thing. So let's talk about the TV deal.
Yeah.
They got big TNT on board. So
it's massive. Like I don't think you can understate how like off.
Because it was what, 100 mil?
I'm pulling
allegedly,
it right now.
Reportedly.
Hey, if that black woman said 100 mil, I trust Fee. She said 100 mil, man.
Like,
but that's a big deal.
They're going to be on TV 3 nights a week, starting in late January for their 8-week season. And not only just like on TV, right? They're going to be, because it's a TNT, so which is Turner, which is like HBO. So they're going to be on the Max app. They're going to be on your regular TV. They're going to be on streaming
everywhere.
So like, shout out to them because that's massive and like without a massive like proof of concept yet, right? Like we haven't seen it, and so like shout out to people who were at the negotiating table because they did that.
Quick question: did TNT had the big 3 on there, right?
I believe so.
No, that was CBS, I think.
Really?
I think big 3. I can make sure. Let me.
Because I thought TNT. So I'm kind of like it's in the same vein. So I get their vision, but like yeah.
Okay, I see here returns to CBS. So they went somewhere else. So maybe they went there and back. But I know they were definitely on CBS to begin with. Yeah. But they're back on CBS now. Big 3 is. I don't know if when they went back or not. But yeah, CBS now. Yeah. So right. Not
we've seen. Yeah, I mean, so we've seen the concept. Former NBA players. And if people will tune in and watch Joe Johnson, like I think we've got enough buzz right now. The names have been in the mainstream. Some of them have been memes. Some of them haven't.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get a big fish. This news about Caitlin Clark, bro. Like, reportedly getting a Messi deal. Lionel Messi.
There you go.
Okay,
names.
not a Messi deal, but a Messi deal.
A GOAT deal.
A GOAT basically.
Deal. I do it. 100%.
I kind of hope she doesn't, because I just feel like
we've been talking about it in chat for days, weeks now. And at the time, like I vividly remember our conversation, Shawnee. And I was like, no, I think she should do it. I think, 8 weeks of that, like not that much, And then, so the Messi deal, I remember saying before she even got drafted, because I remember Caleb Williams of the Chicago Bears, when he was coming out from USC, him and his father approached the Bears and they were talking about, they wanted equity and they wanted, all of these things, like a different kind of,
I know that's right.
Yeah. Make up for his contract. And I was like, if anybody has a real claim to some shit like that, it's Caitlin Clark. Like that, she could come out demanding something like that, kind of from the out the gate. And obviously, over the season, we come to find out that she's been secretly lobbying for players to get bonuses and stuff like that off of gate revenue when you're moving to bigger arenas and stuff like that. And so, like to me, like taking the Unrivaled deal would just be like a feather in her cap in terms of like, I'm really exercising my magnitude, right? Like how big of a force I am in sports. And I remember, Shawnee, you and I talked about like basically should she play in an Unrivaled with like women who have like outwardly hated on her. And I was like, I didn't really feel that way outside of like one player who's involved in Unrivaled already. But then today I saw a screenshot of like them liking like salty tweets or posts on
Unrivaled, yeah.
Yes, and I was like, I hadn't seen that until today.
No, but like it came up, but the general vibe, and this is what like me and Greer were talking about. I'm kind of like the general vibe was like she was treated like a leper up until DT dapped her up, and we got the past and present. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody was like, oh, okay, it's safe now to like be seen in pictures with her and you know, maybe high five her or whatever. And we can have discussions on whose fault that was and whether she could have done more to have people welcome her. Whatever the case may be. But I still think it was weird. And when I look at like Candace Parker, right? 2019, she gets voted most overrated player in the W. Mind you, like every record says first person to do this since Candace Parker. First person to do this since Candace Parker. This, that, third, Candace Parker. So I'm kind of like, people have been sitting there trying to tell me like, oh no, there's no hate. Nobody hates on anybody in the W. Like the W, it's respect and it's earned. And it's like, I watched it. I've seen it. I saw what they did to Skylar. I saw what they did to Candace. Sabrina got voted 19th best guard for like the All-Star votes.
Now that was accurate, but
nah, bro, come on.
At the time, that was accurate.
That's where but see, and this is what I'm saying. Like that's where I would put her, but it's like I'm her biggest hater, so it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've been known to dabble in the hate arts.
A bit of a scientist yourself, huh?
You know, so I'm kind of like, if they're agreeing with me, something's amiss.
Yeah.
But no, it's just like I've seen that the league can be petty, you know, and then we've seen the responses to her. We saw like it. I got tired of the discourse, but like what bothered me was people acting like they weren't fueling the discourse. Because like Kennedy, right? Love Kennedy as a player. You cannot sit there and tweet about her for 24 hours straight and then say she's overrated. All she does is this. She stinks, blah, blah, blah. And then people are like, well, why do you think she hates her? She doesn't have to like her. Da, da, da. Okay, then let's own it. Again, as a hater, one of the key principles in ethical hating is admitting it, knowing up front. I don't like them because everybody kept asking me, why don't you like the Liberty? Because fuck them. That's why. Word to Dave Chappelle. That's all I got. That's what it is. So I'm saying like people have been either sneak dissing her, outwardly dissing her, or like quietly waiting for everything to pass over. And I'm kind of like, I wouldn't want to be around that. Like, it's just very, I respect what it's doing and what they're trying to do and the vision they have and what they're bringing and how they're trying to expand to like create another avenue, you know, for people during the off season. But it's still just like, if I was her, like, no. And then
on top of how long she's played basketball for, like year round as well. Which I mean, like there'll be a break in between, but like,
yeah,
I can understand wanting to be out of the limelight for a little bit and not be the reason.
And that's where I'm at with it. Because it's kind of like we're already starting the dialogue. For her to get the Messi deal, well, why would she get and why not give and why not and why can't and everybody should have equal bruh, it's unrivaled. It's
soup kitchen, y'all. This is not everybody gets the same piece of chicken. It's not that.
I promise you, like no one, like if you want to talk about the Messi deal, right? People were not like the numbers that I don't have the statistics in front of me, but I remember seeing like all like the boost that the MLS got, that Apple TV got, like all of the statistics that came out. And if you don't think that other players benefited off that, I mean, hell, look at the finals this year. Like,
and I would argue that like her impact on Unrivaled and the W is even greater than Messi's on MLS because
I think that's very valid.
We are not a soccer country.
I think that's very valid. I think that's very, very valid.
We are not a soccer country. We are a basketball country.
So that's
like Messi was in Publix and they was taking pictures. Like, we're not a soccer country at all. We don't know who's on the U.S. men's team, but like Messi can get photographed in Publix in Miami. Like, that's incredible. First of all, that he's just milling about getting some tenders at Publix. I love that. Man of the people. But again, I can't tell you, is Clint Dempsey still playing?
No. He's been retired.
See?
It's been a minute. Yeah.
But I know Messi.
Right.
So you gonna sit there and tell me that Messi don't deserve, credit for putting soccer on? And that's what I'm saying. Like, we're gonna be honest about how this year went in about 5-10 years. We can't be honest right now. Right now, people are trying to revise history in real time and put themselves on the whole lot of cap space. Whole lot of it. And they're trying to put themselves in the correct side.
I seen you with my own 2 eyes be goofy all season long.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, for them to even start off, like, well, why would she get more than the people that were chronically online that saw, Facebook comments that they didn't like? Like, bro, come on. Like, be for real here.
It's just like, it's just not the same.
And I don't want that league to be sullied by that type of, and it's not her fault. But like, to your point about not being in the limelight, she needs a break. She needs to get in the lab with Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell, and I want them doing 3-man weaves. Spin those, man. Listen, I want Indy 500 coming out blazing because my girl Aaliyah Boston is ready. She's adapting. Her software is updating, and it's about to get scary. Yes. Hello?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm seeing her time could be better spent doing other things. Because, like, Sabrina's never played in anything. Overseas, AU, nothing. She babysits. And we're not
even talking about her as a possibility for Unrivaled.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think at this stage, like, Caitlin's already one of the 5 best players in the W. She was a finalist for MVP. She's her. So she doesn't really need, per se, to do all of this stuff to, like, get ready. Yes. Like, she just needs to fine-tune what she already has and use, what she was doing this previous season to prepare for next season. But I don't think, like, I think as long as her and Aaliyah are locked in, I don't care what they do.
Unrivaled?
No.
Have they finished announcing everybody? Because that's another thing.
They have 4 more players left.
Good gosh.
Yeah. So, like, to me, like, I can kind of see both sides of it, honestly. Like, if she wants to play or not. Like, ultimately, like, I don't know what her what she's prioritizing, or if waiting until January is long enough of a break for her, from being in the limelight. Because if this is long enough for a break, then do your thing, go make the $1 million, go take the Messi deal. I just think it's crazy personally. Like, if she plays or if she doesn't, that's like, I don't really have an opinion on that, frankly. Like, if she does or doesn't. What I will say though is to act like Caitlin isn't worth whatever the Messi deal is ridiculous. Or to act like it should be spread out more evenly or whatever, because
they're already promising the highest salary,
like way more than the W. And also, if it's only gonna help to if you bring Caitlin on, that's only next January is gonna be even bigger. You're bringing Paige Beckers in next year. It's like on top. Like, so if you get her,
let her be the cash cow. Leave us alone.
Like, it's just interesting to me. Like, I think so much has been made about Caitlin being the reason, like from in bad faith about Caitlin being the reason why the W is doing what it is doing. And then I think on the opposite end, because of that, there's been a retaliation of trying to diminish Caitlin's impact on what has been doing. And there's a medium that you're allowed to be at where you can say that Caitlin is not saving the W, but is amplifying it in a way that we have never seen before. And I just don't think people have been comfortable finding that medium, and I just don't understand why. Right. Like, it's we call it grifting or whatever. Like, it's been bad faith a lot of the times, like on both ends, I feel like. And it's okay for Caitlin. Caitlin's as a special generational player that is doing things for the game that is special and not even generational because it hasn't been done before. Like, this is the first time we're seeing it, and I think we're allowed to appropriately act like this is the first time we're seeing it, in the business way too, when you're doing something like this. So I just want people to be honest, which is a tough ask at times. I understand, like, and But I just want people to be honest. Yeah.
And see, and that's another reason to your backing up to your point that Paige is coming. That's why I don't want her to play. Let Paige come so we can really see. Let's go motion for motion. Because y'all told me that's the Great White Hope. That's her. That's everybody's fave. She about to come in and do. Let's go motion for motion. See if see what she does. See how they tune in this year, and then compare it to Paige. That's all I'm saying.
Look, that's up for your agendas. That's
we're gonna have to talk because no, that's gonna be the next discussion because I'm being told a lot of things about Paige Beckers, and I hope for everybody's sake that she lives up to these expectations because I'm coming.
You're already there.
I'm coming.
You're ready to knock.
You kind of been here, but yeah,
you're ready to knock.
Well, now like I've been kind of like half in, half out. Dipping my toe in the water, dipping my foot in the water, splashing around a little bit. But I'm diving in. We're up, Greer, and I'm so sorry.
On the like when you're in the 3-foot pool and they say no diving. That's what you
No diving. No diving.
I'm jumping in. Wherever. I don't care. I'll care. Shallow dialogue, deep dialogue, deep dives. I'm jumping in, and I'm jumping in often, and I have the receipts. So we're going band for band, motion for motion.
All agendas are gonna hit different.
We're here now.
It always does.
And I want to thank Haley Van Lith because we got to meme her. She opened the floodgates to normal sports dialogue about the women's game. Those memes took us to another level.
Yeah.
So thank you, Haley, for your sacrifice for the game.
Go Frogs. Go Frogs. That's the thing, yes. Yeah.
So speaking of financials and big business, well, not the account, but, big business teams. The CBA, WNBA Players Association, opted out of the CBA. Here to talk numbers is our financial analyst, Boss Lady Greer. Take it away.
I don't even know about numbers. I would imagine that they are going to fight for higher salaries, right?
She's not at liberty to discuss that. I don't know why I set it up like that.
Rookies right now are making, even the best rookies are making like a little under $80,000, I think, annually in the WNBA. Not enough to pay the rent of Angel Reese, in Chicago. But I'm definitely more so interested in like what I've been saying a lot on No Cap Space all year is like, is the W and the ownership and Kathy and the people that she represents, which is owners, are they ready to treat the players as the partners that they truly are?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I'm curious. We don't have a lot. I don't have a lot of experience, like knowing about CBA stuff. But like, are there conditions right now that like don't have to be negotiated? Like, as owners, we are willing to do this, right? So I saw like travel is going to be a priority, pregnancy, like discrimination or lack thereof, right, and like security. For players who want family planning, who want to be mothers, right? That they'll have access to do that and not have to worry about
and pops. Sorry. Oh, sorry.
It's true. But I'm more so concerned about the W like beginning negotiations on the right foot, right? Like I don't want to have to be arguing for like we got planes before that could even be negotiated in the WNBA. I don't want players to have to like be negotiating for like just decency. You know what I mean? Right. Like there should be more security for these athletes. That I don't feel like that's something that they should have to go to the bargaining table for.
Yeah, I agree.
I just don't want them to bring it to us. Because again, you're on Twitter telling me, what do you, sister? I just host No cap space. Like, I am but a humble scribe at times. Like, what do you want from me? Yeah. So I really feel like this is a year to get it done, because I don't want to see no more videos being in airports like, oh no, we're stuck. I don't want to see. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Y'all need to swing your weight. I don't care if you got to pick Caitlyn up over your head, put her on the table, and be like, look, we want this, and this, and we're not leaving until we get this, and we're not playing until we get this. Like, it's time to like put on your big girl power suits with the shoulder pads and go in there, because you know Kathy's coming with, I don't know, maybe a
New York skyline or
maybe, or like a 12-team shoe like she likes, you know, like the heel with the to see like to seem like you know, so she might come in there like, hey guys, ally. Yeah, the 14.
Yeah, she got to
get some bigger shoes.
No, I feel you, but no, really, like as soon as like it's time to negotiate, I need Caitlyn, Angel, Rakia, Cam, Camilla, just stand around the table, like just arms crossed. You don't gotta say nothing. Just stand there.
Let Nika do the talking, but y'all be like,
just y'all can throw ad libs in like that. That'd be great. but no, I think for me, and kind of to agree to your point of like the non-negotiables, I think that kind of goes hand in hand with like as expansion happens, and frankly, just more willing owners come in. I'm interested in seeing how the discussions with the OG owners that are broke go. Like, or at least
broke. Stand to the left.
No, like
my rich.
Hello. You know which direction you're gonna stand in. Everyone should know already. You know, like there's no reason, like to your point of like just the general like decency of being a professional. Like I will be very interested in seeing like just the required investment to keep a team. You know, and how that will go, because like
go band for band, y'all can't afford. Bye.
I'm like, if y'all got the Connecticut Sun practicing at the local YMCA, like that's like, and while Seattle's practicing in their brand new, or Phoenix, or like all these owners that have already invested, and seemingly like there's been several owners that are in the league right now that are committed to investing. But that's what I'll be kind of looking out for is like, and I don't think that's something that will be like, hey, y'all gotta be this high on your racks to get in, to ownership, like for the owners that are already here. But like as more teams expand in, the price is just gonna go up, the investment's just gonna go up, and there's gonna be some teams that are heavily left behind. And I will be interested in seeing how the CBA, I guess, like kind of forces their hand to pay up a little bit, and like whether that be security or travel or whatever, like just like the baseline things that aren't already happening, that the owners who have not invested heavily are going to be forced to do. And if they don't really do it, how does that go? Or even in the negotiations, if they're like, yeah, I'm not doing that, and everyone else is like the Liberty owners and Mark Davis are like calling you broke, like how does that go in the negotiations? That's and I don't know if that's something that we'll ever be privy to or anything, like how that ends up going, but that's kind of how I'm interested in, and kind of how I'm looking at it is like, because all this new investment is coming in and they're like coming in ready. Like Golden State is going to be like every team really, I feel like going forward is going to be at minimum have a facility. Like I would like, like at, in some way, shape or form are going to have a facility, and it's going to be on the rest of the teams to keep up. And I don't know how willing some of these other teams are, and they're going to get left behind fast if they don't. So that's going to be kind of what I'm looking out for.
And, I just want to quell everyone's expectations about a Houston franchise, because Tillman Fertitta is still broke by any standards. The Houston Rockets owner, bro, like he has a restaurant. James Harden had to pick up a couple shifts. Like that man is broke.
Stop.
In any league, so he's not going to be able to get a bid. So y'all better hope Beyonce or Meg and Beyonce, like they figure something out and like actually become invested in women's sports and want to buy it. Because Tillman Fertitta is just broke by all standards. He'd be like a whole facility. Like we can't just. Like, he would not pay the fee to rent out the YMCA. Like, ooh, there's not like a local park. We can't go to the park. None of y'all got like something in your driveway that we could.
Yeah,
Brokey.
Yeah, so that's what we looking out for is because, like I said, I mean the price is literally
it's going up.
It's going up literally by the expansion, and we've already heard about Milwaukee today as a potential like.
Oh, how do we get Craig Bibb out? Wait, can we price Craig Bibb out? Can we price new management? Look, I'm crunching the numbers here.
Yeah.
What is the minimum to get Craig Bibb out?
Get your calculator out.
I think part of it is like what you're seeing maybe is like him stepping away so that they can kind of raise the value so that if he does want to
imagine having to quit so your group can like flourish. That's crazy.
That is something else that can happen in the W. We're talking about owners who don't have like super deep pockets. Well, okay, let's build the value up so that at least I recoup on my initial investment. Yeah. I think it's like a very good possibility that we see some teams change hands too, right? I mean, the Dallas Mavericks, right? What's his name? Mark Cuban sold them.
Yeah, I just sold it. Yeah.
Oh, he should have been forced to do that a while ago, or just had it like repoed.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be the first person? Tillman Furtado would be the one to get it repoed. Like he didn't make a payment. It's done, man.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, we'll get your money up, really, and we're gonna have to have a PayPal type situation so y'all can donate, so we can buy a team. That way, we can coach. And no cap space.
GM Shardy's ready to go. Like he's
he's got the eye for talent,
big board footwork. We got it.
We got player development. We've got bringing the hose out, marketing and branding.
I'll catch rebounds. I'll do what I need to do.
Oh gosh, yeah, we got a ball boy.
Hello, I'll wipe the floors.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how are you with a towel?
Come on now.
What's your foot speed? What's your 40 time?
I'll get it, bro. I got high acceleration. Trust.
Well, you are low to the ground. All right, I'm done.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
I can't help that Shardy 6'7".
That's true.
This is harsh.
That's true. You know? That's a high standard.
Yeah.
Speaking of high standards, this season set the bar for moments. It was just a lot going on, and we want to, wrap it up and
bow on the season
and talk about our favorite moments. I'll go first.
Yeah.
I would say my favorite moment was right after my South Carolina Gamecocks went undefeated to win their second title in 3 years, their third overall. I got on StreamYard with my towel and my lucky beanie on, and I said that the WNBA is not ready for what's coming. I said the players are too online, the fans are too whiny, the league is too unorganized, they just do dumb stuff. They're just not ready for what's coming. And lo and behold, I was 10,000% correct.
So your favorite moment was being right.
Yes. 1,000%. Shamelessly. I said they were not ready. We just why did WNBA first team come out like a week ago?
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. It's
like 9 weeks after all of the awards.
Yeah.
We get random droppings on Sunday morning at midnight, 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. First team.
Yeah.
People had to be like, wait, have we gotten first team yet?
I was people.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't know what was going on. I was people. Yeah, no, I have a small little list I just came up with not long ago, to be honest. But Candace retiring randomly at the beginning of the season was a crazy moment. Like that was just like not out of no. I mean, it was out of nowhere. Like we were under the assumption that she was working her way back from injury, and that obviously didn't happen. So like that was a crazy day on Twitter, like just having that happen at all. I also got I gotta be a little messy. I got Monica McNutt and Stephen A. Smith as a moment in this season that was just like, what is going on? Like I think that was one of the first moments, honestly, where I was like, oh, this is like really
unscripted.
Everyone is tapped in for real. Like I was seeing people from all over the timeline.
You know more for women's basketball than me?
Yeah. Like I was like, what is going on? I remember it was like appointment viewing, like the next first take. He said Monica could be back on the whole timeline. Like it's rare. Like outside of games, I've never seen the timeline for the like W Twitter be tapped in for something like that. Like all watching at the same time, bro. The whole timeline was like, did y'all see what he just said? Can y'all believe? Like that was crazy. And then like going on like the other shows, like the post game shows for the for the mess on the first take, and there was so much going on, and I was just entertained by it, honestly. Like it wasn't great from Stephen A. But I know. Hold on, what's going on?
I'm sorry. I gotta. One of the things that like stuck out to me when she got on the little Shannon Sharp show. And he was like, I invited people on, and like, they don't come or whatever. And she was like, I mean,
yeah,
you like, gotta
y'all look kind of weird.
Yeah, like this show isn't something that everybody's brand is for. And then,
my Michelle.
Yeah, and then we see what he's having to answer for on his own show, and it's like, this is why women don't want to come on here, bro. Mm-hmm. So she was the first and the last to really like. No, I think Shanae came on after. I didn't watch that one, but it's like.
But like Monica was like, Monica held her own. She was right for like as much as I can remember from it was pretty much right across the board. Like, but that was a crazy day, like a crazy week. Really, it kind of turned into like a whole week of it all. But yeah, no, that was funny. There was several media things that were just like, I can't believe this is happening. Like Christine Brennan as well was just like, what is going on? Like,
hey, bro, when she posted outside she's like, I'm at Barclays right now,
bro,
watching shooter.
I agree with the questions that she was asking, but her being like, you know where to find me at? That was tough.
Let me know if you want me to ask something.
I can't lie. Like that was like, bro, you know exactly where I'm at, and I'm here without Caitlin. I was like, bro, hey, I might not respect some of the questions that you asked or like the way that you asked them, but man, that tweet I had to respect it. That was hard as hell.
You know where I'm at.
Yeah, but like, people making statements over that and everything was like it was like
that joint was funny. Cause what y'all gonna do?
I just couldn't believe it was happening. Like that's what like so many things like this season where I was like, I can't believe this turned into this. Was for a lot of it. One thing I got to experience a lot personally was Cheryl Miller coaching at All-Star. Was awesome. Where she was like in the huddle where she's like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm having fun. Bro, incredible clip. And like hearing her in the press conferences, like being able to, that's far and away the coolest press conference I've ever been in. Like Cheryl Miller is just like an all-time human. Like she's cool Cheryl. Like she's so damn cool. And being able to hear her talk about the rookies, but also like still kind of popping her own stuff, like while doing it, she was like, "Yeah, I would have been this, or doing it." That was super dope to me as well. I had two more. I have JJ tripping over Sandy Brondello in the playoffs. That was very very funny. And then also like Kate Martin getting drafted, like in the
oh my god,
that happened, I thought it's super cool. Like even like looking back on it now, like being there to support Caitlin and then it happening and. I wish she didn't know like at all, but like I think she had like we had heard that she kind of caught the drift like what was happening because the cameras came over and everyone's kind of moving around and everything, but still a super dope moment. But yeah, that's what I got off the top of my head.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, I thought All-Star Weekend was just super fun, even from the house. I thought Team All-Star Team WNBA beating Team USA.
Second half.
And leading up, but even the Angel and Caitlin, like that connection on the court.
We are the world. We are the children.
I would say also practically every single matchup between the Sky and the Fever this year.
Absolutely.
Was super fun, and it felt good to like have that kind of energy back into the WNBA. Even if at least by the end, like it really was about the basketball. Even if it didn't start out that way, I appreciated that. And I thought that was a really fun thing this season. And just the rookies in general, right? Two of which we have great relationships with in Elsa Peely and Jalen Sherrod, who's now a WNBA champion. So that was really cool to see her do that as well. But this rookie class, obviously Caitlin, obviously Angel, even Cam in her limited time that she was on the court with what she was able to do, what friend of No Cap Space Camila Cardoso was doing this year as well. So just to see, just to see all like a lot of them, a good bit of them, like pretty much make a seamless transition to this next level. And kind of put everybody else on notice that like we're here, and there's probably a lot more where that came from in terms of young players who can come in and instantly make an impact for their teams. I thought was like a very, very big bright spot for the league this year in the midst of all the other turmoil.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you. There was so many. Also, the finals was electric, like just like the entire series. I know like that's fresh, but like it's got to be said like that. I mean, that's one of the best series I've seen, and like you could feel the excitement of it. Like you could actively. That was like just kind of general across this season. What part of what I loved is that there were so many times you could actively feel the difference in this season, and the finals, the finals being part of that, and. The whether it be Twitter or like everyone talking about the foul at the end of the game, or whatever.
That's my favorite part. Like everybody rejecting the results of the finals because like it is a conspiracy theory. Like you do not show up in a skyline dress and expect me to take this league seriously. Like what are you doing? Like what are you doing? And people are like, it's stupid to say a conspiracy theory, and it's like I watch Tim Donahue. Tim Donahue. Bro, I'm old enough. Bro, I was watching that Lakers Kings series that he was betting on, and it was nasty. And it went down to the wire, and it went down to the last game. It went down to the last shot. So that's where I'm kind of like, I respect Cheryl for standing 10 toes about it.
Oh, yeah, that might have to be a moment, too. Just the Cheryl post-game. Like, that's a moment in its own
She
right.
just like me for real. She said they ain't win that.
Elite. Like that.
And then Fee, like, very, like, demure, very classy, and was like...
Her Instagram post where she posts all the different foul calls that she disagreed with?
Yeah. Petty. But then she got into it and was like, this was unjust.
Yeah. Stewie coming back and posting the block on Fee and her Instagram carousel. It was like just
fighting.
Yeah, I enjoyed all the memes, like the Unrivaled memes post game 5 of the finals and how tense it must be for them over the next couple of weeks.
I can't imagine, in
the aftermath of the finals. So yeah. I mean, I'm saying like the season, there were times where it got spicy, sometimes unnecessarily. But like I enjoyed Angel and Nalissa going at it this season when they matched up. That was fun. NECA and Fee. Oh, cinema.
Yeah, that was good stuff. That's a good shout.
See, and that's there's some lore behind that because Cheryl stayed popping off about NECA. She's a flopper. Like, bro, what did she do to you?
If he's standing behind Cheryl, like that's 10 toes. Like, so that ain't no problem. Yeah, that's a good shout. I ain't forgotten about that. Yeah, that's
and I feel like we need to continue it because you don't like. I don't. Let's continue rejecting it. If you have any more conspiracy theories, we're gonna open up a mailbag. Please send it to us. Please, if you see new things. We're going to add to the lore. I will say my top moment is still All-Star Weekend, ABC Squared. That play, I cannot wait to tell my kids about that play, bro. Like, just the way JJ looked back, like...
The meme with all I know exactly what you're talking about.
Grandpa Simpson.
Yeah, just...
And Aaliyah dribbled to half court, and Caitlin threaded it right through this tiny window, and JJ couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
They put the world on notice.
Yeah. Also, Asia Wilson scoring 1K and like just being able to accomplish that is a moment in its own right. Like, just insane. The double streak from Angel as well. The triple doubles from Caitlin. Like, there was a lot of like as much as went down off the court this season and. Like kind of grid to your point, some of it fun and reasonable, other just jumping off the deep end for absolutely no reason. Ultimately, I mean, this season was a resounding success, even with the hiccups and the issues from the W at times and whatnot. Like, I still don't know if they were.
They backed their way into success.
Yeah, like I still don't think that they were ready for it and fully prepared. But ultimately, this season still ended up being record breaking across the board. So,
and since I was right before the season, I would like to now issue a word of caution. Okay. Because I'm seeing a lot now that the NBA is back, now that NCAA is coming back, like, oh, women's sports are better than men's, and the NBA sucks, and this, that, the third, and it's like, I agree, but also, like, let's calm down a little bit, because sexism is still a thing, right? So we're finally, like, in the realm where this sport is being given the respect it deserves, but it's by people who they probably got some tweets under their belt talking about kitchen and nobody watches and this, that, the third. So I feel like I don't want to go too far from nobody watches kitchen to like now we're constantly degrading and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like let's calm down a little bit because that's still the standard, and I sexism can come back. Sexism is still here. You know what I'm saying? Because apparently, like Shaq was asking about lowering the rims, and that's
on live. Like Jamel Hill goes up there talking about I think she's like a new NBA show or something, and literally like Shaq, like they ask her about the W season, and Shaq goes, "Hold on, like one second," and he goes, Jamel, I've asked players about this, but let me hear your thoughts. And asked about lowering the rim. I was like, good God.
And this is a man who's been in WNBA buildings this season. Like that.
Bro. And sits on the desk.
But see, where was he at? I've never seen him at a Sparks game. I didn't see him supporting Lisa Leslie. I didn't see him with any of the OGs. I've never, like during the three-peat, I didn't know that he knew any of them, but he pops up to be Angel's unofficial godfather figure, whatever, Uncle Shaq, da-da-da-da-da. And this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm happy we've got the attention, but we need to know how to strike while the iron's hot and get everything we need to so that if and when things kind of level out, right, we got what we wanted out of this. And that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody just needs to be chill. Everybody just needs to just take a second and just be chill. Because the whole, like, oh, nobody watches men's sports, like, that's not going to end well. And I'm just trying to warn everybody, that's not going to end how you think it is. Just be chill, please. And so I'll ask if all hearts and minds are clear.
Yeah, listen, if this is it, this was a great WNBA season. This is it.
Heck of a run.
It is. Put the bow on it and go get your college gear ready using code NOCAP15 in the description below. Get 15% off your first order at home field, because this, obviously we're going to be talking W stuff as it comes with free agency and expansion, but this is the bow. You know what time it is now. You know what time.
Stop saying bow.
Huh?
Stop saying bow.
The ribbon.
Oh my gosh.
But get your college gear because it's time.
It is. And then make sure you're tapped in with the gang by subscribing to our Substack, subscribing to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, do all the things, keep up with us, turn the noties on. So you don't want to miss any of this, because if we get more codes, we get,
giveaways,
we get haters guides.
Never know what's on deck here in the no cap space, because stuff is happening.
We moving. We're always working. We're always lurking. So you don't want to miss what we got cooking. So make sure you like and subscribe. Stay tuned. And we'll talk to y'all next time.